In the late 1980s, a rundown hotel stood on the outskirts of a small town. Most guests avoided the third floor, especially room 313. Staff whispered that strange things happened there. Lights flickered, phones rang with no one on the line, and guests often checked out before sunrise. On stormy nights, locals still point toward an abandoned hotel at the edge of town and whisper about a room that should never be opened, room 313. The hotel was built in the 1950s and once welcomed travelers from across the country. But over the years, strange stories began to spread. Guests reported hearing footsteps pacing the hallways when no one was there. Housekeepers claimed they heard someone crying behind locked doors. Some visitors swore they saw a pale woman standing at the end of the corridor, only for her to vanish when approached. Most of the reports centered around a single room, room 313. The staff tried to dismiss the rumors, but they quietly stopped assigning the room whenever possible. Even the bravest employees refused to enter it alone after dark. Then came the incident that made the legend famous. One cold autumn evening in 1988, a traveling salesman arrived during a heavy thunderstorm. The hotel was nearly full, and the only available room was 313. When the receptionist handed him the key, she hesitated. "Sir," she said nervously, "if you hear anything strange tonight, don't leave your room." The salesman laughed. He assumed it was a local joke and headed upstairs. At first, everything seemed normal. The room was old but clean. Rain tapped against the windows while distant thunder echoed across the sky. He watched television for a while before eventually falling asleep. Then, at exactly 2:13 a.m., he woke to the sound of someone crying. It was soft at first. A faint, heartbreaking sob. The sound seemed to come from the corner of the room. Half asleep, he sat up and looked around. There, beside the window, sat a woman in a long white dress. Her dark hair hung over her face, hiding her features. She appeared motionless except for the slight shaking of her shoulders as she cried. The salesman froze. Every instinct told him something was wrong. Still, believing she might be a distressed guest who had somehow entered the room, he cautiously spoke. "Ma'am, are you okay?" The crying stopped instantly. The silence that followed felt unnatural. The woman slowly rose to her feet. Then she turned toward him. Without a word, she began walking across the room. Step, step, step. Each footstep sounded unnaturally loud. The temperature dropped so suddenly that the salesman could see his breath. A feeling of dread washed over him. He wanted to run, but fear rooted him to the bed. The woman continued moving closer. Step, step, step. By the time she reached the foot of the bed, the room felt like a freezer. Then she slowly lifted her head. The salesman screamed. Where her face should have been, there was nothing. No eyes, no nose, no mouth. Only smooth, pale skin stretched across a featureless head. The terrified man leaped from the bed and bolted for the door. As he reached the hallway, he heard something behind him. The sound of footsteps, fast footsteps, chasing him. He ran down the corridor, down the stairs, and into the lobby, where he collapsed. Hotel staff found him trembling uncontrollably. His face had lost all color. When they asked what happened, he kept repeating the same sentence over and over. "She wanted me to look under the bed." No matter how many questions they asked, he said nothing else. The next morning, curiosity got the better of the hotel manager. Armed with a flashlight, he entered room 313 alone. The room appeared completely normal. Nothing seemed out of place. Then he remembered the salesman's words. Slowly, he knelt beside the bed and pointed the flashlight underneath. What he saw reportedly haunted him for the rest of his life. Carved into the wooden floor were hundreds of messages scratched by different hands. Some were deep, some barely visible, but they all carried the same warning. "Don't look at her face." Others read, "She waits until you look. I should have kept my eyes closed." And one final message, written more deeply than the rest. "She is under the bed now." Within months, the hotel shut down. No official explanation was ever given. The building remains abandoned to this day. Urban explorers who sneak inside claim room 313 is still there, untouched by time. Some report hearing quiet sobbing from behind the locked door. Others say they've seen a pale figure standing in the room's window late at night. And according to the legend, if you ever find yourself staying in room 3113 and wake to the sound of a woman crying, do not answer her. Do not follow the sound. Do not look beneath the bed. and if she lifts her head and turns toward you, whatever happens, don't look at her face.